anyway, let me begin. Let's see what happens. So, good afternoon, dear students. Today there is poor network connectivity. So, if the class gets disrupted in between, we shall continue tomorrow. Okay, but we'll let's see how far we can continue with this connectivity. From where I will start. Okay. So, dear students, can you hear me? Please let me know if there is any buffering from your end. Uh, Let me know in between. I'll keep checking after every 2-3 minutes today. So, anyway, today we shall continue from page number, say, for example, page number here, 38. Okay, 38. We shall start. So the Rattrap Paddler has already visited the house of Ironmaster, right? Rattrap seller has already visited the house of Ironmaster, and now the Ironmaster and his daughter will be a good host, of course, would be good host for the uh, paddler. Let's see how far it goes on and how far they can. I mean, the red trap seller can keep his identity a secret. How long? Let's see. Let's find out. So here, the next day was Christmas Eve, and when the ironmaster came into the dining room for breakfast, he probably thought with satisfaction of his old regimental comrade whom he had run across so unexpectedly. Okay, so the next day was Christmas Eve, and then when the ironmaster came into the dining room for breakfast, he probably thought with satisfaction of his old regimental comrade whom he had run across so unexpectedly. Run across means whom he had met. Run across means met. Okay, whom he had met so unexpectedly, right? Now let's see. First of all, we must see to it that he gets a little flesh on his bones, he said to his daughter, who was busy at the table. And then we must see that he gets something else to do than to run around the country selling rat traps. Okay, so Ironmaster has got something in his mind, some planning for his old regimental comrade, because he has mistaken the rat trap seller to be his former colleague, right? So as he's having bad time, so the ironmaster became very much sympathetic for him, right? The ironmaster has become very much sympathetic for him, and now he would like to offer his best treatment to the rat trap seller so that he does not uh, have to sell his rat trap any further. So let's see how it works out. Okay, so let's see how it works out, dear students. Um, First of all, we must see to it that he gets a little flash on his bones. Flash on his bones, it means they will, of course, give him some food. He said to his daughter, who was busy at the table. Table means their dinner, lunch table or something, or breakfast table, whatever. And then we must see that he gets something else to do than to run around the country selling rat traps. So the ironmaster has something in his mind that he would offer to him some kind of money or something so that the rat trap seller doesn't have to go for selling his rat traps. Okay. Next, you see, it is queer that things have gone downhill with him as badly as that. Queer means strange. Okay. So the ironmaster further says to his daughter that it is very strange that things have gone downhill. Means things have become worse for the rat trap paddler. Last night I did not think there was anything about him to show that he had once been an educated man, right? So the ironmaster, uh, so his daughter, like said the daughter. So daughter is now making comments saying that it is strange that things have gone very bad for him, and moreover, she said. the previous night when she came across Rattrap Paddler, he gave the impression to her that he was an uneducated person. Okay, so that is what she says. Last night I did not think there was anything about him to show that he had once been an educated person, right? You must have patience, my little girl, said the father. The father became a bit annoyed with his daughter when she said, like, she was not convinced that once the Rattrap Paddler had been an educated person, right? So because both the daughter and the father were under illusion, actually, okay, are under illusion that because like daughter has been informed by her father, that is why she's under illusion, but the real illusion is her father, okay, because her father mistook the identity of the Rattrap seller to be his old regimental comrade. Okay, so Kalyani, can you please text me if it is buffering too much from your end? Is it buffering too much? Because network connectivity is very poor today. Network connectivity has gone very poor today. So, Kalani, can you please text me if it is buffering from your end? Okay, thank you, Kalani. Thank you so much. Okay, so now, you must have patience, my little girl, said the father. The father became very much annoyed and he said, you must have patience, my little girl. As soon as he gets clean and dressed up, you will see something different. Last night, he was naturally embarrassed. The tramp manners will fall away from him with the tramp clothes. The tramp manners will fall away from him with the tramp clothes. Okay. So, dear students, as you can see right here, as you can see, uh, like master became a bit disappointed when his daughter said that the previous night when he met Rattrap Paddler, she was under the impression that he was not an educated man. Okay, so on hearing this, her father became a bit disappointed and he said, you have to keep your patience because only after my friend, my old colleague, okay, gets clean and dressed up properly, then everything will be clear, okay, and his Trump manners, his vagabond manners will fall away, will disappear with new clothes, will disappear with the Trump clothes. Okay, means whenever he will wear new dress, then his manners will also change, right? So this is what her father expects from the rat trap seller, but in fact it will not change. Why it will not change? Because rat trap seller is uneducated, he is a frustrated man, so he cannot appear to be a decent and cultured man even after he takes a bath or even after he changes his clothes, right? Let's find out. Just as he said this, the door opened and the stranger entered. The stranger here refers to the rat trap seller. Yes, now he was truly clean and well dressed. The valet had bathed him, cut his hair, and shaved him. Moreover, he was dressed in a good looking suit of clothes, which belonged to the ironmaster. He wore a white shirt and a starched collar and whole shoes. But although his guest was now so well groomed, the ironmaster did not seem pleased, right? Although his guest was now so well groomed, guest here refers to the red trap seller. So although he's uh, okay, yeah, the network connectivity appears to be absolutely poor. It seems that is why it's happening like this, dear students. So let's see what happens. There will be some intermittent buffering here. there will be some intermittent buffering because of the poor network connectivity of BSNL. Uh, uh, Dear students, now it's not BSNL, it's Airtel connectivity, but still it's buffering, it seems. Okay. Prakhar, is it still buffering or it's stopped? Prakhar, can you please confirm me if it is still buffering or it stopped now? Okay, so let me continue for some more paragraph and then we'll wind up. Okay, so but although his guest was now so well groomed, the ironmaster did not seem pleased, right? So even though Rattrap peddler or Rattrap seller was well groomed, the ironmaster was not pleased with his maybe manner or something. He looked at him with puckered brow, and it was easy to understand that when he had seen the strange fellow in the uncertain reflection from the furnace, he might have made a mistake, but that now, when he stood there in broad daylight, it was impossible to mistake him for an old acquaintance, right? Now the ironmaster's mistake is identified. He could identify his own mistake, and he's saying he now it's impossible under this broad daylight to mistake him for an old acquaintance. He cannot be an old acquaintance. What does this mean? He thundered. The stranger made no attempt to dissimulate. Okay. So, dear students, is it buffering now? Okay, it's all good now, na? Right? Thank you so much. Um, there might be some intermittent, buffering, dear students. Okay. Okay. So you see here, the stranger made no attempt to dissimulate. Dissimulate means conceal something. Okay, to hide something, right? So the stranger did not make any attempt to hide his identity or hide anything from the ironmaster. He saw at once that the splendor had come to an end. It's not my fault. He immediately admits to the ironmaster, it's not my fault, sir. He said, I never pretended to be anything but a poor trader, and I pleaded and begged to be allowed to stay in the forge. But no harm has been done. At worst, I can put my rags again and go away. So now he has admitted his admitted that it's not my fault, sir. I never pretended to be your old colleague. He says, I never pretended to be anything but a poor trader, and I pleaded and begged to be allowed to stay in the forge. But anyway, there is no harm caused. I can put on my rags and again I can go away. I can go away. That's it. I haven't done any wrong to anybody. Okay, so I can be allowed to go. Well, said the ironmaster, hesitating a little, it was not quite honest either. It was not quite honest either from your side. You must admit that, and I should not be surprised if the sheriff would like to have something to say in the matter. If the police, sheriff means police. So I might like I might, or you might be under arrest. You might be under arrest. So you were not so honest either. You must admit that you should not be surprised if police interrogates you, right? The tramp took a step forward and struck the table with his fist. Now I am going to tell you, Mr. Ironmaster, how things are, he said. This whole world is nothing but a big rat trap. Okay. Now he shares his own philosophy to the Ironmaster. Okay, in order to blackmail him, or in order to, you can say, in order to make Ironmaster feel sympathetic for him, right? So he's saying this whole world is nothing but a big rat trap. All the good things that are offered to you are nothing but cheese, rinds, and bits of pork set out to drag a poor fellow into trouble. And if the sheriff comes now and locks me up for this, then you, Mr. Ironmaster, must remember that a day may come when you yourself may want to get a big piece of pork, and then you will get caught in the trap. Okay, so this is how he is trying to evoke sympathy in the mind of the Iron Master. So okay, that is what he's saying, because he wants to evoke sympathy in the minds of the Iron Master, saying that if you get me arrested, then one day will come when you shall also be tempted. You shall also be tempted to, you shall also be tempted to fall into temptation, or you can say fall into any kind of trap like I am trapped, and then your condition will be similar to mine. So this is how he is trying to evoke sympathy in the mind of the Iron Master. He is saying that the whole world is a rat trap. Okay, and every temptation that we have in front of us is like cheese or bits of pork. Okay, when we go to touch this, or if we fall trapped into it, okay, we fall into trouble. And if the sheriff comes now and locks me up, then you, Iron Master, must remember that a day will come when you yourself may want to get a big piece of pork, and then you will get caught in the trap, right? The ironmaster began to laugh. Now the ironmaster began to laugh. That was not so badly said, my good fellow. Perhaps you should let the sheriff alone on Christmas Eve. But now get out of here as fast as you can. Okay. So the ironmaster said, "Okay, whatever you said was not so badly said, of course, but perhaps we should let the sheriff alone, okay, on Christmas Eve, but you need to go away from here, okay." But just as the man was opening the door, the daughter said, "I think he ought to stay with us today. I don't want him to go." And with that, she went and closed the door. But just as the man was opening the door, the daughter said, "I think he ought to stay with us today. I don't want him to go." And with that, she went and closed the door. "What in the world are you doing?" said the father. The father uh, reacted, initially did not agree to what his daughter wanted to do. His daughter became sympathetic and said, "I think at least for a day he should stay with us. I don't want him to go at the moment." But her father is having a different opinion. He says, "What in the world are you doing?" The daughter stood here quite embarrassed and hardly knew what to answer. That morning she had felt so happy when she thought how homelike and Christmassy she was going to make things for the poor hungry wretch. She could not get away from the idea all at once, and that was why she had interceded for the vagabond. Interceded means that she had interrupted, she has interfered to speak for the vagabond, right? Because what happened, you see, the vagabond wanted to go, and moreover, the ironmaster wanted him to go as well. Okay, but what happened, dear students, uh, as a result of this thing, as his daughter had already planned in her mind that they have a guest in the Christmas, so she is not able to digest the fact that the rat trap seller will be going. So that is why she has interceded and requested her father to allow him to stay back for a day, because she did not want the paddler or the active seller to just leave, because she has planned many things before to serve the paddler. Okay, so let's see whether her father agrees to that. Let's check out once. Here you see, she could not get away from the idea all at once, and that was why she had interceded for the vagabond. I am thinking of this stranger here, said the young girl. He walks and walks the whole year long, and there is probably not a single place in the whole country where he is welcome and can feel at home. Wherever he turns, he is chased away. Always he is afraid of being arrested and cross examined. I should like to have him enjoy a day of peace with us here, just one in the whole year. Okay, so now the ironmaster's daughter is pleading in favor of the ironmaster to her father, saying that I'm thinking of the stranger because wherever he turned to, he faced rejection. People turned him down. People drove him out of their house. There is not a single place in the whole country where he is welcome. Okay, wherever he turned, he was chased away, and he is also afraid of being arrested and cross-examined. So why not we allow him to enjoy a day of peace with us here, just one day in the whole year? The ironmaster mumbled something in his beard. He could not bring himself to oppose her because of the way she presented to her father. It was all a mistake, of course, she continued. But anyway, I don't think we ought to chase away a human being whom we have asked to come here and to whom we have promised Christmas cheer. So that is a very good point on the part of his daughter. His daughter has a reason to convince her father. She said that, like, might be he's a vagabond, might be he's a rat trap seller, but we have assured him, we have invited him to our house, and we have assured him Christmas cheer. Therefore, we cannot simply drive him out of our house just today. So why not let him be allowed to stay in our house for a day, and let him enjoy a day of peace with us, and that's just a day in the whole year. You do preach worse than a parson, said the ironmaster. I only hope you won't have to regret this, right? So ironmaster thinks that his daughter is preaching like a person, like church fellow, okay? But on the other hand, he also utters a word of caution to his daughter, saying that I hope you won't have to regret for this. Okay, so he is giving a caution. He is giving a caution to his daughter, saying that I hope you don't have to regret. You don't have to regret for your decision of allowing the this vagabond to stay with us for a day. I hope you do not regret for your decision later on, right? You do preach worse than a person, said the ironmaster. I only hope you won't have to regret this. The young girl took the stranger by the hand and led him up to the table. Now sit down and eat, she said, for she could see that her father had given in. The man with the rat trap said not a word. He only sat down and helped himself to the food. Time after time, he looked at the young girl who had interceded for him. Why had she done it? What could the crazy idea be? So, dear students, as you can see here, Uh, the extraordinarily beautiful treatment or extraordinarily hospitable behavior of the ironmaster's daughter has made the Trump or the Rattrap seller think twice. He became very soft with the behavior of ironmaster's daughter. He just started thinking in his mind, why the hell has the daughter, Ironmaster's daughter, started doing or being so good to me? What could the crazy idea be? What is her crazy idea? Is she really sympathetic, or she is trying to lay a kind of a snare, or lay kind of a trap for me? Like, what is the crazy idea all about? Because everything that has happened so far to the Rattrap seller has been bad. Okay, he has all the bad experience of life. Therefore, he cannot trust a person so quickly. Even if the ironmaster's daughter has been so hospitable, so kind with him, but he cannot believe her so easily because life has been so harsh with the paddler, with the Rattrap seller. That is why he is not able to trust even the best of treatment, that even the best of hospitality that has been given or extended to the red trap seller. Even after such a beautiful and such a best hospital, such a best hospitality, red trap seller is not able to take her treatment or hospitality for granted because the red trap seller had the worst of treatment meted out to him from the people around the world. So he has been totally negative in his attitude towards looking at people. So it will take time for him to be positive, right? So dear students, that's it for the day. We shall stop here today because, dear students, I think. Time's up, is going to be over. So we shall wind up our lecture today, and we shall certainly finish our lesson tomorrow. Only little bit is left out, dear students. Only little bit is left out, or I can wind it up today also. Like just couple of minutes you give me, I shall wind it up today. Okay. So you see here, you do preach worse than a person. Okay, this is over. This is over. Okay. After that, Christmas Eve at Ramso passed just as it always had. The stranger did not cause any trouble because he did nothing but sleep. The whole forenoon he lay on the sofa in one of the guest rooms and slept at one stress. At noon they woke him up so that he could have his share of the good Christmas fare, but after that he slept again. It seemed as though for many years he had not been able to sleep as quietly and safely as here at Ramsjo. In the evening, when the Christmas tree was lighted, they woke him up again, and he stood for a while in the drawing room, blinking as though the candlelight hurt him. But after that, he disappeared again. The 2 hours later, he was aroused once again. He then had to go down into the dining room and eat the Christmas fish and porridge. So he was sleeping all throughout the day that day. Okay, after his lunch, after his timely food, he was sleeping very peacefully. It seemed to the narrator that that the red seller wasn't sleeping for quite a long time. That is why he's got a very peaceful environment inside the house of Ironmaster. That is why he was sleeping very peacefully the whole day. As soon as they got up from the table, he went around to each one present and said thank you and good night. But when he came to the young girl, she gave him to understand that it was her father's intention that the suit which he wore was to be a Christmas present. He did not have to return it, and if he wanted to spend next Christmas Eve in a place where he could rest in peace and be sure that no evil would befall him, he would be welcomed back again. Okay, so her father has been so kind to gift him a Christmas suit, even to the red trap seller, to the paddler. So this is what his daughter, that is Anmaster's daughter, Edla Manson, will mention. Tells the red trap seller, right? So. Uh, And also she said that you don't have to return it, and if he wanted to spend next Christmas Eve in a place where he could rest in peace, he was most welcome, and that no evil would befall him, he would be welcome back again. Not only this year, even next year, if he wanted to come and spare his Christmas time with them, Iron Master and his daughter, he is most welcome. So that is the message, that is the note left by her father, which she was sort of delivering to the rat trap seller. The man with the rat traps did not answer anything to this. He only stared at the young girl in boundless amazement. He was so surprised. How can human beings be so good, right? How can human beings be so good? The next morning, the Ironmaster and his daughter got up in good season to go to the early Christmas service. Their guest was still asleep and they did not disturb him. When at about 10 o'clock they drove back from the church, the young girl sat and hung her head even more dejectedly than usual. At church, she had learned that one of the old crofters of the iron works had been robbed by a man who went around selling rat traps. Okay, rat traps. So when the next morning, when they went to the church, they came to know that the person who is inside their house has robbed. I mean, one of the old crofters of the iron works had been robbed by a man who went around selling rat traps. So immediately they could understand that he could be none other than the rat trap seller, because he was taking shelter in their house. So the rat trap seller who has taken shelter in the house of Iron Master has stolen something from old crofters of the ironworks. So this is what they came to know. So we shall see tomorrow what happens. Okay. Let me wind up here, dear students. We shall come to know tomorrow what has happened to the story. So thank you for being with me. So hopefully all of you have given your presence. Okay. Okay. Let me see how many of you are present now, and then we shall leave. Oh, okay, okay, 17, 17. So 17 people are there. Okay, 17 people. Okay, thank you so much, dear students. Bye bye. Bye bye, Arya Singh, Alma, Tanvi, Kailani. We shall wind it up tomorrow, dear students. Bye bye. Take care and have a great day.